There's going to be some varying opinions on today's video and the announcement from Insomniac Games. I told myself, I don't really need to make this video, I do superhero content, but I don't want to only do that, so I just uploaded some stuff, maybe I should wait. Then I realized that the other day, when I made a Spider-Man 2 video, talked a little bit about the New Game Plus feature that was supposed to be added this month. I was actually very tired, it was like 5 a.m. when I made it, and I made a passing comment about, with this in the game, you can replay missions and stuff. And for some reason in my brain, it wasn't really clicking. The way I said it came off like it was already in the game. It's not yet. And the announcement was originally that was going to come before the end of 2023. Honestly, my understanding of the information was actually that it was going to be out by now. But it's not, and people have been asking where it is. The other day over on social media, Insomniac Games made a pretty big announcement about when to expect that. So we're going to read that together, hop into it for just a couple minutes and talk about it. And I want to share a couple thoughts because I've seen a lot of things floating around. As I talk about this, I'm going to, on the screen, have my Fortnite creator code. It helps me when you guys use this if you play that game and buy something, because I appreciate it. It helps me out. On Twitter, Insomniac announced, "Hey webheads, we have some news about the next game update for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. We know players have been eagerly awaiting features such as New Game Plus and audio descriptions, among many more. We have been working vigilantly on these features and require more testing to ensure that the quality is up to our standards. We are now targeting early 2024 for the next game update, and we'll have a feature-complete list closer to its release. We've heard your feedback and will be adding some highly requested features, including the ability to change the time of day, swap tendril colors, and replay missions, just to name a few. We can't wait to share more with you in the future. In the meantime, we appreciate your patience as our team works to finish our next update for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Thanks, Insomniac Games." I think this went over fine on Twitter, got like 53,000 likes, but I have seen a lot of opinions floating around about the promise, about the release of New Game Plus. Maybe it should have been in the base game. Why wasn't it? A lot of people kind of mistakenly think it was in the original. When the original game launched, it was not in it. That also, though, doesn't mean that the argument is invalid that it should have been in this one. I mean, it was a feature they added in. Then it was a feature that was in Spider-Man Miles Morales from the start. I don't really blame people for thinking, hey, this is a feature I expected the game to launch with. That said, I think a lot of people enjoy this game quite a bit. There's a varying level of passionate discussion around it, and there are quite a few people who are just willing to wait and don't care. I'm kind of on the fence with this. It's like, I'm glad they said something, but they kind of kept it radio silence for a long time. I'm wondering a little bit if maybe they thought they could have hit this deadline, and then it was approaching mid-December and it was like there was no way to get it done. Personally, would I rather that the Insomniac Games developers and employees spend the holidays more with their family versus working on New Game Plus? Yeah, because to me, it's not a very passionate thing. I don't have a lot of I need this feature now. At the same time, I do really wish this game launched with this feature. The changing the time of day thing, that's really good for photo mode. I could do without it. It's something that was in the original game, at least eventually. So, I'm not really... I don't know. I wish it was in here. I think really, though, just the ability to not replay missions at all when you're in a story mode playthrough, that was kind of weird. New Game Plus, I want that in the game. I really think games should stop launching without it. We just saw this as well with Assassin's Creed Mirage. And hey, I'm glad that we're adding that into that game as well. It's just unfortunate to me that even with these big single-player games now, we're actually hitting a point where the on-disc version, even if it's a complete game, is no longer going to be the best version of the game. Let's say years from now, for some reason, I don't know why this would be the case, but it did happen with some PS3 games, so it is possible. You're not able to access this update. Maybe for a day, maybe forever, who knows? The disc copy of this game is now going to be worse off because it didn't have these features at launch. And again, this is a whole conversation about physical versus digital, but it is unfortunate for media preservation whenever this stuff happens. I expect it with games as a service, but when it comes to these big single-player games that are very narrative-focused, very single-player focused on your experience, I really do want to see this stuff in the game at launch. My personal opinion is that this game was rushed out to try and meet the award season with the Game Awards coming up by Sony, because they knew that if it won awards, it would probably sell even more copies. That said, it sold a ton of copies without winning really anything at the Game Awards, but I think it actually would have won some stuff if maybe they took a little more time on it. Maybe Sony hadn't pushed this game out so quickly. I like the game. I expected to adore it. Maybe that was my fault. I went in with, high expectations coming off of having just played through Spider-Man PS4 Remastered and playing Miles Morales. I was expecting to go in and I was expecting okay, all these features are going to be in the game. They've really perfected this stuff. We're going to get a really narrative-focused, black suit arc. And I really enjoy the game. I've been playing through it over on Degenerate Plays, my Let's Play channel. So if you're interested in checking that out, link is in the description down below. But I've also got a lot of problems with it, a lot of things I haven't liked. I'm unsure if I should make a full review on it or not. I guess I'm just kind of wondering what your thoughts are on that, or maybe talking about everything I love about it in one video, everything I don't in another. This is just one of those games that for me, it's been genuinely not fun to talk about because of how upset everyone is around it. Normally that kind of stuff doesn't bother me, but it's just kind of worn me down where it feels like any time this game comes up, people are either ready to tear apart everyone who like it, or they're ready to jump down the throats of anybody who has a minor criticism of the game. Maybe I have to find a way to disconnect myself from that, but I'd be interested to know if you experienced any of the same, things around this game. It just seems like people are almost too passionate about it. That said, I am glad that we are still getting New Game Plus. Even though I wanted it at release, I'm not super torn up about it. I have a lot of other games I want to play. I don't know, when it comes to Insomniac games, the quality level that they usually release, I kind of expect the games to just be done at launch. I don't really think New Game Plus is an additional feature. New Game Plus and Mission Replay, I think those are pretty core features that if they're not in a single player game, they're a little frustrating because you then have to do an entirely separate replay just to replay your favorite part of the game. Maybe you want to sit down and play a couple missions that you really love. You now have to dedicate hours to getting back there in a new save file in order to do that. Those are things that I really do think should be in a game at launch. I think this game is very good. I think it could have been so much better, though, if more time was taken and maybe it wasn't pushed out to meet the Game Awards and to meet, December with holiday sales and stuff. I'm interested to hear your thoughts down below about everything we talked about. What do you think about the new release date for this? This update. Do you think this feature should have been in the game in general? What was your experience with Spider-Man 2? I appreciate when you guys tell me without getting into fist fights with each other in the comments, but I'm still interested. Your experience around this game, talking about it with people, your experience with these features, playing the game, and what kind of videos would you want to see about the game? Because I do have a passion for this game. I'm just worn down by the community around it on both sides. It's exhausting. So let me know. Have a fantastic day. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I also do have, like I said, a Fortnite creator code. The reason I talk about it is the channel struggles off and on. Things like this, little things that, might not seem like a big deal to you, like channel memberships, the Patreon, the Fortnite creator code, our store, degeneratej.com or enchantedglamour.com, where we sell a lot of cool comic book resin coasters and handmade jewelry and stuff for Christmas. Those things, they help this channel out a lot. That's why I bring them up. So see you next one. And as always, everybody, stay shway.